Have you ever asked yourself the question, what's next for me? Good day, friends. For today, we are going to talk about quarter life crisis or QLC. According to Bradley University, the quarter life crisis is a period of uncertainty and questioning that typically occurs when people feel trapped, uninspired, and disillusioned during their mid 20s to early 30s. And according to some sources, it may even start at the early age of 18. Some think that it's a myth, but take it from me. I personally experienced QLC, and it's true. And this is actually alarming because according to CNBC, this is experienced by nearly 90% of all the millennials. In fact, based on the same source, this was also experienced by some famous personalities that we know: Mark Cuban, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, and Elon Musk. So imagine if these people experience QLC, then you are not an exception. So, what causes QLC? We know that during our 20s, especially mid-20s, that's the time that we try to establish our name. That's the time that we want to settle down. We want to invest. Hence, the entirety of our life will all depend on how we work on ourselves during our mid-20s. So what are the common reasons why QLC is experienced? Job searching. If you can't find a decent job, or you can't find a job that you really want to do, these things could really frustrate you. Another reason is when we are trying to navigate relationships. A lot of your friends have already settled down. You, on the other hand, are alone. Or maybe you have a significant other, but you don't have plans of settling down yet because of many reasons like priorities. One more factor that triggers QLC would be decision making. These decisions could be personal or professional, and this may include long-term goals. How do you see yourself 10 years, 20 years, 30, 50 years from now? So you have to decide as soon as possible. But the irony is, you can't really decide yet because you don't know what to do. So all these factors may really contribute for you to experience QLC. And I do believe that this can also be connected to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And according to this, the highest form of need is self-actualization. And self-actualization is the desire to become the most that you can be. Now, I already mentioned that I experienced QLC myself, and I was like 24 during that time. And I'm telling you, it wasn't easy because it took me years, and I'm not even sure if I'm over it. Probably I was just able to accept it, or probably deal with it, or probably trying to work on myself. My first-hand experience could help you all on how to deal with this dilemma. Let me give you 6 tips on how to deal with quarter life crisis. First, do some soul searching. It's important that you are aware of yourself. If not, try to rediscover yourself. And the reason why you're so frustrated is because you don't really know who you are anymore. There are many ways for you to do it. So try to go back to your younger years and remember the things that you were into. Were you into arts? Were you into music? Were you into reading? There are a lot of things out there. And you have to ignite that heart once again. Bottom line is, you just have to appreciate yourself once again. It should first come from the inside for you to know who you are. Second, find happiness. Well, rediscovering yourself could be a good first step for you to find happiness. But at the end of the day, just be genuine about it. Don't pretend that you're happy if you're not. I mean, what's the point of not being true to yourself? Number 3, assess your surroundings. You might be at work or you might be at school and you know that things need to be done. But if you think that your environment is already toxic and killing you, then there's a need for you to evaluate everything. Your environment is an important factor that you should consider in order to keep your sanity. It will drain your energy. It will kill your motivation. Number 4, embrace imperfections. We tend to be so idealistic because we want to be the best version of ourselves. And that's normal. However, even if you are idealistic, you also have to be realistic. You have to realize that your plans will not always work. There are factors that you need to integrate in the equation. You have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. At work, if you want to be promoted, let's say, you have to reflect. Do I have what it takes to be promoted? Do I have what it takes to be in this position? Am I equipped enough? If you think that you're not, then you have to manage your expectations. You cannot always get what you want. You have to work hard to be the best person for whatever you want to pursue in life. And again, that starts by acknowledging that you are not a perfect individual. Number 5, value relationships. As you grow older, you will meet a lot of people. Perhaps you could keep a handful of friends, and also it's normal if you lose some. But whatever your situation is, this is the perfect time, that QLC moment, that you choose these people in your life. If you're close to your family, value them. If you're close to your parents, listen to them. Teenagers, let's say, would really be rebellious. Like I experienced that, and I am guilty of that. But then when I entered my 20s, that's when I realized that Mama and Papa, they were right. And you just value them even more. Don't allow toxic people enter your personal sphere. At this point, it's quality over quantity. And lastly, create long-term goals. What do you really want to do? What do you want to be 5 years from now? Or even more than that? Where do you want to stay at the end of the road? You can be ambitious. There's nothing wrong. All of us can dream, and we can dream big. We should dream big. But apart from identifying these things that you want to accomplish, you also have to know how. There are no genies out there to instantly grant your wishes. You have to work hard, so you have to strategize. You have to have plans. With proper planning, then there's no way that you will not be able to achieve these goals. So these are just some tips, but of course, at the end of the day, it's all up to you. Again, quarter life crisis is normal. You might feel down or depressed, but never give up, because it's not only you. And just imagine how these successful people that you talked about earlier, Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, how were they able to do it? They survived, and look at them now. So meaning, you can do it too. Quarter life crisis should be your motivation and not self-destruction.